Hey everyone, welcome to the Week in DSP. This is for the week of August 26, 2019. This is going to be an interesting week because this is the week of the Rageathon. We also have a new emote in chat and a big ol' sub drop. So we start the week on DSP's day off, and he informs us that the person who promised the Sega Genesis Mini has now backed out on it. Now, who could have called that except for every detractor in the galaxy saw this coming from a mile away. It's starting to become fruitless to start promising DSP things and then not delivering on them because it gives him ammunition to beg his audience for more things and say, oh, hey, I was expecting to do this thing, do this stream, do this video, create this content for you guys, but, this person backed out on it, and of course, with my bills, I can't afford it, so someone's gonna have to step up, otherwise it's just gonna be the same old boring shit. But even on his day off, he can't not beg his audience to step up and deliver money or product for him for his streams. Now, something else I want to point out on his schedule here, because he didn't fuck up his schedule at all this week, is Tuesday was the big ol' premiere of Control. DSP was hyped for Control when he came back from his break because, number one, it's the start of the next streaming week, but number two, it's a hot new release. A hot new, maybe AAA release? I don't know. It's just a new game. It's been such a boring summer with so many duds. We needed something new to come out. Well, fast forward to Saturday, and the game is already up to probable conclusion. If this is a guy who allegedly cannot afford any video games, he needs to start finding titles that have more than 10 hours of gameplay with them, so that way he doesn't have to buy a new game every week. We've seen this happen with Madden 20, which I guess probably has more gameplay to it. It's just DSP has already axed it from the chill streams, and he probably wasn't going to replay the story mode more than once. But then we've also gotten Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, which was 2 streams at most, and that was overhyped with brand new emojis that got nixed immediately after the conclusion of that. And then we had Wolfenstein Youngblood, which was done after 2 or 3 streams, so that was money well spent. I mean, Sunday night he even updated his schedule for the upcoming week, and he's already got the conclusion of Man of Medan on Tuesday night and the conclusion of Blair Witch on Wednesday's day stream. So that's 3 titles in 1 week that he's already chewed up, spit out, and he's done, and now he's got to hope for some new releases to come out. He's begging that Gears of War 5 comes out early so he can hop on a AAA dick and start getting some new viewers. A game like Fire Emblem, though, that he's completely skipped, could have been just 60 hours of one playthrough. That's enough for 15-day streams. That's 2 weeks of Fire Emblem if he plays nothing else every day for a week. He did kind of hint in other streams that he wanted to revisit old games like Mass Effect 2 and Final Fantasy 6. And I think that's a good idea if he already owns the game. If he's supposed to be in dire financial straits, the worst financial situation of his life, he's got this impending tax doom coming up. I mean, he should really start saving his money for his end of the year taxes, so that way we don't enter another tax saga for the 3rd, 4th, 5th year in a row. Put the $300 a month of brand new releases towards your taxes and just start whittling away at that monster. And then pick up games on the cheap, pick up smaller gifted games, or replay games that you already have because you've been doing tons of redemption runs already. Even last year was the year of redemption runs. And when we have the sub goal of being another retrospective event, which I think people are voting on now, DSP only cares about recapturing his old glory days. So he should just do redemption runs or replays of games that he's already played and try to capture the magic of being a white hot YouTube star, as he always likes to say, instead of thinking he's hot shit and trying to keep up with the trends and keep up with the kids on Twitch TV with these hot new releases. I mean, there's already channels dedicated to retro gameplay, and there's channels dedicated to just focusing on one game instead of being a variety gamer. And there's nothing on Twitch to suggest that there's an algorithm for new releases. The only thing that new releases might get is a sponsored stream or a a Twitch bounty stream, which DSP won't qualify for on either way. His viewership is too small, he's too toxic, he's too much of a piece of shit, and he's shit on other people for doing exactly that. So there's literally no benefit to him gaining any day one views on a game that he's going to play for 3 days and give up. It's another example of DSP refusing to give up on his past too. He is still a YouTuber at heart. He just makes his YouTube videos live in front of an audience. That's not my original quote. I just don't know who said that first, but it just fits him so perfectly. He chases brand new releases so that way he can play them on stream for a day, the day that they come out, for the average Joe video game player that DSP totally is, so he can upload them to his YouTube channel and get the day one views and get the ad revenue on his YouTube channel. One last thing before I move on with the DSP news is his refusal to play games that he wants to play is just a way for him to throw the buck at his audience. If a stream is a dud, a failure, he doesn't make enough money or not enough people show up to watch it, then he considers it a fucking bust. But he's making all of his games, at least the shit's that's not a brand new release, locked behind some sort of poll on his fucking forums. So people have to vote on the games that he plays, and then when they don't work, just like what happens in the Rageathon, which I'll get to, then he blames his audience for the failures of his streams. It's another way for him to say, I did nothing wrong. So another DSP meme made its way into becoming an official emote on the Twitch channel, and that's the Why Am I Toxic emote, which is a fantastic fucking emote for multiple reasons. Number one, the W and the H are so smushed together that they both look like the same letter. But thankfully, with context clues, we know it's the word Y. I can still say it looks like shit. And number two, DSP had said he doesn't like having text-only emotes, and then goes and adds a brand new text-only emote to the channel. Now, my favorite part about DSP adding the Why Am I Toxic emote to the channel is that this is a phrase that had gotten people banned in his chat before, and I believe at one point, toxic might have even been a banned word on the channel. But now that it's a-okay for us to use it and we're taking back the mean memes from the detractors, people thought to ask, oh hey, do you want to unban the people who were banned for saying why am I toxic back when that first started popping up? And he said no, fuck them. Way to show you've evolved, DSP, that you're totally a mature person and that you can take the high road and turn the other cheek and laugh with us instead of us laughing at you. Now Thursday was the Rageathon, and I don't really have any clips to show from the Rageathon because I didn't watch most of it. It was extremely fucking boring. The first game was World of Warcraft. He killed maybe 6 or 7 mobs, did the intro quest only, and then spent the rest of the hour wandering around the Tauren starting area. I don't even remember what it's called. It's been so long since I've played it. And of course, he was getting trolled relentlessly the whole time. There were people with names like Tevin and Subaru Jeff trying to challenge him to duels, invite him to teams, that sort of thing. But he refused to do any research to figure out how to block unwanted social interactions, which you can do in World of Warcraft. I mean, how does someone like Asmongold, who has 100,000 viewers for World of Warcraft Classic, manage to stream the game? And DSP can't do it for what, 200, 300, 400 people for an hour? So yeah, it was literally him just wandering around. It was like, let's watch World of Warcraft, or let's take a tour of World of Warcraft. Didn't try to play the game, didn't try to attack monsters. I think at one point he was surprised that he had an ability that he could use at level 1. But yeah, so that set the pace of the fucking Rageathon, and I noped out of that real fucking quick. Big ups to Tevin for managing to stick through the whole fucking thing. I also want to say some really shitty games were fucking nominated for this. I mean, the games that DSP rages at the most are games that should have been picked for this. And one of the biggest games with some of the most fucking trolling and some of the most rage was like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Open up viewer lobbies again, whine and bitch about lag for an hour, let the detractors sneak into the fucking lobby and beat you up. There's no voice chat, there's no text chat, so no one can't get on there and say like Jeff Rudell or Tevin Blacked Cat or anything like that. Maybe someone could make that their name, or they could make a me that looks like Phil. I don't know. I just want a round 2. My DDD only took 2nd place in the match that I stream sniped him in, and I've been grinding Lucina pretty hard. giggity. So I would really like to get into a 4-person free-for-all with my souped up Lucina and go for first place. But that's just a selfish wish of mine. Another thing that would have drawn out a shit ton of rage would be DSP watching Detractor videos for 6 hours. Fuck a retrospective event. Get on there and play Secret Life of DSP or watch a Tevin stream or God forbid watch a week in DSP. Watch my old ones from the very beginning where my microphone was dying and I didn't know what the fucking noise gate was. Laugh at how shitty my old production quality was. Not that the production quality's gotten much better. I figured out how to delete some things and edit some things. So Friday, things get interesting. Kama found this from the Overrussell logs, and it's some really good detective work. Heaving Earth, which is one of DSP's newest whales. He got into a cheer war recently where DSP got like $300 in cheers. And then I was going to include this in last week's in DSP, but I just didn't have time to make it. But Heaving Earth and another person get into a cheer war, get DSP up to $300 in cheers, and then he gets all afraid that people are going to stop tipping him and cheer him only. Actually, I think it was Ludwig World Order fan, which is not the real Ludwig World Order. But these chat logs have Heaving Earth calling out Bernelio, Mama Bernelli's, and then there's a $100 tip from Unleash the Bernelli sauce, which makes reference to the incident or the accident, and it has that like fake fan wannabe Detractor feel to it, you know, hey Phil, been watching you since 1776 kind of thing to it. But the reason why I point that out is during the Minecraft stream, there was another person named Rock Herd who gave $35 to be the top contributor so he gets to have something named after him, and he wanted a cobblestone dick in Minecraft. And Phil, when he was giving him his shout out, was saying Rock Herd. So the theory is that Heaving Earth is tipping under multiple names, which you can do when you're tipping in Streamlabs. You can type whatever name you want. You can watch any of my streams and you'll see all sorts of variations of Jasper or Dacky Smurf or I don't know. There's a lot of names that you can type in there. It doesn't matter what it is. So the point is, it looks like that Heaving Earth, maybe with Phil's influence or not, is making Detractor names or leaderboard suggestions with the Minecraft auctioning off the naming rights to something in the game to try to encourage more people to knock him off the leaderboard spot so Phil earns more money. It's, of course, going back to the Phil's fans versus the Detractors war that Phil likes to imagine happens. Oh, the Detractors get mad when you give me money, so give me tons of money. I mean, I kind of influence it a little bit too when I say, oh, I've made more money than Phil today. But it's pretty obvious if you think about it. When Phil got the cobblestone penis tip on the Minecraft stream, he was begging his audience for someone to come in and knock it off. You know, he's like, oh, it's only $35. Someone can beat that. Like, I really don't want to make a cobblestone dick. Doing the thing he was doing with Phil's smelly chair, where he was just like really milking the stream out longer and longer to try to get someone to beat the obvious troll donation. Now, we got a fun little screenshot here. This was taken from Tevin's stream, so that's why it's got the ice cubes and the snowflakes and the Kekin, because it's a maximum chill stream, dude. But Phil was fucking with his webcam, of course, to try to show us Jasper. Can't have a dedicated Jasper cam or anything. And he takes this shot of his crotch, and the remarkable thing here is Phil's thighs. It's the shorts are so fucking short on him. He's wearing goddamn booty shorts when he's streaming, or he might not even have pants on at all, and these could just be his boxers. But if there was ever any question as to why Phil's leg slaps are so loud and so meaty and so fleshy every time he makes the gesture with his hand going towards his lap, this is why. There's no fabric covering his legs. It is bare hands on bare skin going on down there. What a situation. With all the faux pas that he's made on camera and continues to make on camera, but nothing as bad as the incident. Like, what if he had to stand up and the camera was still pointed at him and his shorts were just, I don't know. There's been Twitch thoughts who've been banned for having their shorts right up too high and show that they weren't wearing underwear. I'm looking at you, Bad Bunny. God, could we have an accident? Oh, God, I don't want to think about that. But put some goddamn pants on, dude. Coming up on the end of the week here, we had a lot of the stuff happen on Sunday. Number one, Phil during the day stream in chat, not actually on camera, was talking about Alec Holaka. I don't know how to say the guy's name. The guy who committed suicide after being accused of years of mental abuse or sexual abuse of Zoe Quinn, leading to Zoe Quinn deleting her Twitter account after the news was revealed. Now, the reason why I want to point out what Phil is saying in the day stream is because he changed his tune between the day stream and the night stream with Minecraft. Obviously, he either didn't have all of the information, so he was just going off of whatever Twitter was telling him in the moment or chat was telling him in the moment, or between the streams, he did a little bit more research on the situation and went, oh, that's a really stupid stance to take. Because in the day stream, he says, dude, this is some serious shit. The guy had depression and mental illness. He sexually abused Zoe Quinn because of the mental illness. So he's making the excuse for the guy by citing mental illness. You know, DSP, that was my depression, is of course quick to go to mental illness is the excuse for a lot of this. But he made it sound like the guy deserved it, and the guy did it of his own volition. And then by the night stream came around, he was like, "Oh, I don't really want to get involved in it. We don't have all the facts. This, that." Like he really backpedaled. Unfortunately, I don't have a clip of what he said during the night stream, but I did restream it, so you can trust me. I was there. Now, a fun little screenshot from the same day stream was Phil getting angry at the boomer meme, but not because that he thinks he's a boomer, or that he's a boomer with technology. He just thinks the boomers were the worst generation and ruined the United States. Also, way to tell your audience what pisses you off. I'm sure no one will ever bring that up ever again. The number one thing when you're dealing with trolls or people trying to troll you is don't tell them what pushes your buttons. Hide your buttons. Don't let people push your buttons. Also, Sunday afternoon, we had Twitch put out a Life is Strange compilation of people reacting to the ending of the latest chapter or episode. And DSP was the first one listed there, but they spelled his name wrong. And it was a full-on clown mode. I can't remember the context of DSP going clown mode during the stream, but it was absolutely at the ending. Something like the mom surviving or the cult leader having to... I was like something really ridiculous and like not the right thing to react to, in my opinion. But for some reason, this tweet got deleted by Twitch, which was really strange. And Phil likes to cite that, oh, it was the detractors spamming it with all sorts of negative memes and lies about me. But what about every other Twitch post that's full of Alinity memes and ban Alinity? Why is DSP protected more than Alinity on Twitch when Alinity has way more viewership and way more of a sub count than DSP does? Like, I could understand from a business perspective to keep the cows that make the most money, give them a little bit of a double standard, you know, a slap on the wrist when they do something wrong, and then you axe the small channels when they step out of line, you know, permanently ban them for a one-time offense. But DSP is a small channel, and his influence is dying on the internet. People don't give a fuck about him. A lot of people are quitting the Detractor community right now. I mean, DSP is just absolutely boring. Not even his haters want to hate watch him anymore. His fans barely want to watch him anymore. And with him encouraging people to tip instead of cheer or sub, how is Twitch making any money off of their partnership with him? Except for what? The ads that he plays at the end of the stream when people are already out the door? All in all, I find it really funny. This will probably be the last time we ever see DSP in any of those Twitch compilations on Twitter. And then, since we're at the end of the month, we're going to end the video on Actually's monthly roundup. This is the guy who tallies up all sorts of information on Darkside Phil's income and the money he has in his pocket during the month. So with the money that he got paid from July Twitch cheers and subs, July YouTube, July Patreon, and all the money he begged for in August, I almost said the word earned, but those would be his August tips. He had anywhere from $10,000 to $12,000 in his pocket for this month. And then it looks like starting in September, DSP is going to have $10,000 to $12,500 in his pocket. That's going to be the Twitch revenue from August. That's his cheers and subs. That's going to be the YouTube money and the Patreon money. That doesn't include tips. So that means DSP is actually trending upwards on the amount of money he's making, while his viewership is trending downwards. The other interesting bit of information here is the gifted subs tab, because it shows how many gifted subs DSP has, and that number is 138. It also breaks it down by date and shows where the biggest sub drops are going to be. Now, I would start to say, oh, we can have an impending subpocalypse, especially in the middle of the month when 40 subs are going to fall off the channel. But DSP has already gotten a shit ton of gifted subs at the start of this month to hit his sub goal right off the bat before the sub drop happens. So whatever his sub goal is has already been met, and the likelihood of him hitting the tier 2 will slip further and further away as we get deeper and deeper into the month, because around September 20th, I'd say you'll see about 40 to 50 subs drop off the channel right away. But who knows, maybe the whales will keep showing up and gifting subs, and DSP will keep thinking his Twitch is successful because he always manages to hit these sub goals, and then he has to struggle to come up with an event and make the event happen and beg his audience for more money during the event. And beg his audience to put together the content for the event too. Just like with the Rageathon, they have to vote on and nominate their games. And the retrospective event, they have to nominate and vote on the videos that they want to see during the event. So not only do you have to pay for a subscription to hit the sub goal, then register on his forums, vote on his forums, which is creating the content for him, so he doesn't have to do anything else to set up the event except maybe load a YouTube playlist, maybe pre-watch the videos to make sure nothing sneaks in there. But then on the day of the event, he expects you guys, and when I say you guys, I mean his audience, which isn't this audience, to show up and fork over more money, maybe with a fundraiser goal of him revealing something positive at $1,000. And in the case of the Rageathon, it was, oh guys, you picked all these games that I'm going to have to buy. I don't know if I can afford them. The money that you earn from the sub goals should go towards purchasing these games to ensure that the event happens. Otherwise, you're just not delivering on your promises. Okay, guys, I don't have anything else to fit into this week in DSP. I hope you guys enjoyed it, even though it was a little bit late. I want to thank you guys so much for helping get the channel to 3,000 subs. I want to do something special, but I don't know yet what I will do, but stay tuned. And maybe one of these days, I'll do one of the special videos that I've been hinting at for a while now. Anyways, hope to see you guys in the next week in DSP, or the next restream, or the next video game stream that I do. I've been playing Fire Emblem Three Houses lately, and if you don't care about spoilers, I'd be happy to see you there in chat. So until then, take it easy, stay safe, and have fun.